From performing worldwide to drinking around the world.
From reality TV bombshells to weaponizing my BFA.
From behind the scenes
to on your screens.
Or headphones, we don't judge.
We're holding space for hot takes.
I'm Kalen.
I'm Jacob.
And this is The Childless Millennials.
Wearing incorrect theme park wear to the wrong theme park.
Oh.
Knott's Berry Farm spirit jersey to Disneyland? What
I'm
are
sorry,
you doing?
hold on, rewind. Knott's Berry Farm has spirit jerseys.
They actually do.
Okay.
And I think they're kind of cute.
Okay.
They have like a purple one that's like for the Boysenberry
That's cute.
Festival.
That's cute.
But like also Legoland has a spirit jersey too.
Everybody has spirit jerseys now.
They do.
It's so funny to me that spirit jerseys used to be so specifically for sorority girls. Like that's
Was that what?
Yes. Like that's where it came from, was like, to my knowledge, like in Florida was sorority culture. Like before they were a thing at Disney, it was a sorority culture. Like you had your jersey and it had their letters on the back and like that was the thing. And then in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, they started making them at Disney. And then now it's just like this whole thing.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I definitely, as a kid, like I very severely judged, like the first time I went to Universal Studios, like if somebody was there in a Disneyland shirt, it was like, what
as
are
a kid,
you doing?
I judged someone for that last week.
Yeah, no, but like it began as a kid.
Yeah,
my brain like could not compute.
No, absolutely not.
But I do wear my Emerald City Wicked spirit jersey to rehearsal at Disneyland.
What's funny about that? So, okay, I will fully admit I'm very judgy when I see somebody in a theme park wearing what I perceive to be the wrong theme park merch at a theme park. If you're wearing something Universal at Disney, something Disney at Universal especially.
Right.
But I get it. Some people maybe don't have merch for the park that they're going to and want to feel in the theme park spirit for sure. But I'm like, I do cringe a little.
Yeah.
About wearing it to work. So when I used to work at Universal Studios in Orlando, this didn't happen to me, but this happened to a very good friend of mine. He loves Donald Duck and was coming into work through the back, not through the park. He was coming into work through the back, through one of the executive gates, wearing a Donald Duck shirt. And like one of the like VPs of the company saw him and was like, what are you doing wearing that here? And not only chastised him for it, but walked him to a merch shop and bought him a different shirt.
Oh, that's crazy.
And said, don't ever wear another company's merch here again.
I think that's honestly kind of iconic.
I felt like it was, I do feel like that is something you would do. But I did feel like it was iconic. Like,
yeah, it's aggressive, but iconic.
It did make him late to work, which is not iconic.
What if it's the fact that the exec bought it that I'm obsessed with?
Yes.
Was it a write-off?
Yes. Absolutely.
And more heinous, just to wrap it up, a Jedi robe at Universal versus a Harry Potter robe at Disneyland. Not versus, but or that.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not right.
That's incorrect.
Anyway. Hi, it's the Childless Millennials podcast.
Hi, how are you?
I started this not thinking that I had very many things to talk about, and then it all came flooding back to me.
Yeah, we have a very frantic energy today.
Yeah.
I feel.
There's so much going on. We're going to the Descendants Zombies tour tonight,
Yes.
which is very exciting. We're getting closer to the August 2nd performance of Decom Live. Connor and I were at the theater till 2 a.m. doing new lighting cues. It was
you and Connor
very
and
fun.
Oreo. Don't
and
forget.
Oreo.
She's the new star of the show.
Yeah, it was very, very fun. And I will say, I told Connor as I was sitting in the theater, like working on lighting cues, I was like, I love this. Like, I love my new director.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, it was great. But I just remembered something else that I wanted to tell you.
Oh my gosh, now we have so much.
Well, because normally I feel like what people like maybe don't understand, like Trixie and Katya, for example, don't really hang out except for the podcast because they talk about things.
Right.
Like, but we talk a lot.
Yes. So we have to like save things.
Yeah, but
for
there
the show.
actually been things I've been saving to tell you.
Oh,
and
great.
this next one is like definitely on the cusp of like, is this for the pod or is this not for the pod? But I think that I'm gonna put it on the pod.
Connor looks skeptical.
Oh, he looked so skeptical. So the reason I'm bringing it up on the pod is because I feel like our podcast, as fans of the like of culture and these things, fans of the companies we work for, how do you have a like healthy discourse about something in a constructive way, you know, without it like seeming like you're ragging on it, but also like you don't want to like have like blind influencer. Like it was amazing.
We're allowed to be critical of the things that we love.
Yeah. Your thoughts that a Disney exec that I will name nameless went to the Fantastic Four premiere and posted it on Instagram with photos. They'll never listen to this podcast, so it's fine. And said, went to the Fantastic Four premiere. Movie was meh, but time with my insert family member's name, priceless.
Oh.
On their public Instagram. I'm asking because I genuinely do not know how I feel about this. Like, do I support the honesty? Do I think if I were his boss, which I don't know who his boss is, maybe the president of his division of the Walt Disney Company that he works for, he's very high up. This guy has a big job for Disney.
Okay.
And said, movie was meh.
Okay, so here's my opinion. I don't necessarily find it bothersome from like the blind follower influencer-y, like I have to say everything is good just because I work for the company. I don't necessarily find that element of it bothersome. The element of it that I find bothersome, with no other context other than what you've just told me, is it seems pretty disparaging to the people who worked on the movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because to me, if he were unrelated to the company, but an executive in some aspect or a public figure in some aspect and was just like, this movie was meh after going to the premiere, I'd be like, well, you did get invited to the premiere, but I guess that's your opinion, you know? Like, It wouldn't necessarily bother me in that way. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, who do you know or personally work with on a daily basis that worked on this movie? And how would they feel seeing that you said this?
Yeah. Or
how would people that work for you at this company whose hands have touched this project feel about you saying what they've done is meh? And
how would you feel about somebody saying something you worked on was meh if they worked directly with you or if they didn't work directly with you? Like, I think that that's like the dynamic of it that I find complicated. And I think it is like a time and place thing of like, I'm realizing in real time for me what it is it's like the classic respect thing of when you go to see somebody in a show, no matter what, no matter how bad was the show, afterward when you greet them at the stage door, you say, great job.
Yeah.
Like that is just like the courtesy that you, and I think like to be at the premiere of something, but then to like be like, meh, also meh, such a like a write-off of a expression than like, it was bad or like, yeah. And I think
I'm not normally into superhero movies, but this was a fun night at the theater. Like that's totally fine.
Yeah. Or like also this is, I think, the power of like not saying, because if you say everything is great and then this one thing you don't say is good, people that know you well will read into that or slip into the DMs, but girl, I need to know what you really think. You know what I mean?
It's always a great time seeing Pedro Pascal on screen. Yeah. Full stop.
Yeah.
And like, don't say anything else about the movie. Like that tells people everything they need to know about your opinion. You know, like, you know what I mean? Regardless of whether or not the person works for the particular division, whether or not they work for Marvel or studio or whatever, I've learned this just through the job that I currently have with Disney right now. People that don't work for the company don't understand the difference. Like, people see Disney and they think Disney.
That's
so
true.
if somebody from outside the company that was a member of the general public saw that person's post, it's not clocking to you. Sorry.
Yeah. Wait, what is that?
The Justin Bieber thing when he's like yelling at the paparazzi. He's like, it's not clocking to you.
I'm screaming.
I'm standing on business. A lot of people just see Disney and it's just Disney to them. And especially now that Marvel and Star Wars are under the umbrella of Disney, the average person walking down the street who's a fan of Disney or of Marvel doesn't stop to think, oh, that person works in a completely different department, has nothing to do with this movie, and is just posting their personal opinion based on seeing, like, people don't think that. They see Disney and it's all the same to them. You know, the people who comment on one of the accounts that I run that is a very, very niche specific account, and they will comment on things that are completely unrelated because to them it's just Disney and they just feel like they're seeing a representation of Disney. So that's where it kind of gets weird to me.
Yeah, I will say again, like, I more and more want to get to a place of not speaking about things as like good or bad or right or wrong, but just be like, this is interesting. Like, what do we think about this? And I just was so surprised by the post.
It's also a good reminder too that executives don't necessarily have PR training. You know, like, unless you're Bob Iger, like, you probably don't really get PR training as an executive at Disney in any facet because your time speaking to the public is probably like very limited. So that's a good reminder too of just like, like executives don't necessarily have PR training. So that person is going to say whatever they want. And I wouldn't have said it. And I would have stopped to consider many more factors before I said something like that. But
the reality is that nobody has PR training, but everybody has their own PR with social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess like that is the problem with social media.
People don't have PR training, but are posting on a very public forum.
Yeah, and I never want to be like I don't want to say my mom because I don't mean my like specific mom, but you never want to be like your parents and be like, oh, they shouldn't do that. Like, they should be careful. It's on the internet.
Yeah.
But like, I still have those reactions like I had when what Connor just brought up, when I saw Milo Manheim's Drinking Around the World video from the Zombies movie. But it's that he was with the zombies. So it's like Milo, Meg Donnelly, like all Zombies peeps.
Yeah.
And they're like, drink 1, drink 2, drink 3, drink 4. And I was like, oh, if I were Disney, I would be like, but it's his private.
It's his own personal Instagram. None of them were wearing anything related to the movie. Like, they didn't say anything about the movie. And they also do other things outside of Disney. Especially for like somebody like Milo, it's not like Miley Cyrus when she was Hannah Montana. And that was the only thing she was doing. And Disney owned and ran her life for those years. You know, he's been off doing other things on theater things and like other projects. So, it does call into question like what is in his contract, because I know we had like with DiCapello, we had like a morality clause in our contract.
Really?
And there were certain things that we were and weren't allowed to do that were technically enforceable by that morality clause of just like, you have to behave in a way that upholds, the public image of the company, and it's worded very vaguely so that they could say anything, was in breach of that public image, so to speak. But no, I also, going back to what you said a second ago about like cringing about what we put online or being like, oh, be careful. I was actually having this conversation with Dennis Diaz the other day when we were at Connor's show. Because he was talking about, oh, well, I wanted to post so-and-so, but I feel like too much time has passed and I just like get in my head, and I know that other people wouldn't really care, but to me it's like, oh no, I can't post about Pride Month because Pride Month is over. And I was like, yeah, it is very interesting because I feel like it's a generational thing. We were taught, we grew up in both kind of the analog and the digital age, right? Like we came of age in our adolescence, Y2K, when the internet like really became this worldwide thing and became more commonplace in our houses. And all we were taught from the moment our parents got that first computer in our house that connected to the internet was be careful what you put online.
Because it'll be there forever.
That's all we've ever been told is be careful what you put online. It'll be there forever. Be careful who you talk to online. Stranger danger. Like all of these like cautionary things are what we were taught in our formative years, learning how to use the internet and social media and things, right? Gen Z doesn't have any of that. They post because it's not the same anymore.
Oh, yeah.
The internet is not the same. Like, yes, you can say your digital footprint is still there, but the internet itself and the way younger generations interact with the internet is not the same as when we did. They don't have that caution. They'll post something completely unedited off the cuff and hit send on TikTok and not even question it. And I think it's really funny, like without, positioning us as like the boomers, we do have a certain level of caution about what we post and a certain level of hesitancy about like, ooh, I would have done that. And I think it's generational,
Yeah, and we're really the only generation to not be radicalized by the internet because then our parents, like, the internet did to them everything that they said it would do to us.
Yeah.
And then, then you have Gen Z and you have us in the middle, like, holding the ground.
Yeah.
But it was funny because growing up, when I was in college, like being a musical theater person, like, they say like musical theater is ephemeral, like it's meant to live in the moment and then like dissipate. Like I don't have recordings of these shows that I was in. I don't have a recording of me in Book of Mormon legally. I have like one bootleg, you know what I mean? But Connor vlogged like every summer small group tour that he did. And so he was like randomly watching them last night. And I was like, but this is so cool that we're like watching. Cause like I was so careful about what I posted that I never posted anything. And now all of all of those memories have just disappeared into the past. Whereas like he can go on the internet and it's especially nice for him because one of his closest friends has passed.
Yeah.
So we were like watching videos of Desmond yesterday, like laughing our ass off. And so it's like, yes, at the cautionary tale of be careful what you post on the internet, like you are also losing the memories of your life.
Especially because now we have so much more access to video. I remember when I was a kid, like my best friend in elementary school, her name was Allison, and her family, her dad worked for a telephone like company, like Bell or something like that.
Okay.
Like, back then, and they traveled all over the world. Like they lived in South Africa for years and then they would just travel all over for his job. And she had dozens of like really thick scrapbooks of every country they went to, all of these pictures, them on the Great Wall of China, them with camels, like everything you could possibly imagine. And we were in 5th grade. Like she had done all of this stuff in her short life and her mom had, all of these scrapbooks. And that was the way people used to preserve memories. And it's like now we have the ability to do that with literally the thing that you carry around with you every single day. We don't have to take a big camera and get the photos developed. And not only that, we can take photos, but videos as well. And, I do sometimes wish I didn't have that hesitancy, that I did just post things online and not necessarily because like, not for the only goal of being a content creator or monetizing it or whatever, but also just because it is a digital scrapbook and it very much can be that. And like, how cool would it be to, like you said, be able to look back years later and be like, oh yeah, I forgot we did that at rehearsal and like laugh about funny moments and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just have like a little funny.
Okay.
I say it's funny. It involves death. So sorry. Like pop culture thing.
Okay.
So Ozzy Osbourne passed away.
Yes.
And then was immediately reincarnated as Trisha Paytas Baby.
So what is this that like every time she has a baby, like somebody like really famous dies?
Yes.
How many
Absolutely.
babies does she have?
3.
And this is
3 very famous public figures have died. Her first baby was Queen Elizabeth. that baby's name, Queen Elizabeth reincarnated. Her name is Malibu Barbie.
Wait. The baby's name is Malibu Barbie?
Correct.
Like first name Malibu, middle name Barbie?
Yes.
Wow.
Second baby, Pope Francis. Do you want to know what Pope Francis's new name is?
What?
Elvis.
Okay, third baby, Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Do you want to know who Ozzy Osbourne was reincarnated as?
Who?
Aquaman Moses.
Aquaman Moses?
Yep.
She named her child Aquaman?
Sure did. She named Ozzy Osbourne Aquaman.
That's insane.
Yes. No, it really is. Like, it's legitimately called the Trisha Paytas Baby Theory. And so when she announced that she was pregnant for the third time, everybody was like, well, who's going to die? Who's going to sacrifice themselves for this one?
That is weird and crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. No, I thought that was pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne.
But we have Aquaman.
We have Aquaman Moses now.
Aquaman Moses.
Oh, something else I was going to say about Ozzy Osbourne, because I think we wanted to talk a little bit about reality TV.
Okay.
Did you ever watch the Osbournes show?
No.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever watch it?
Sharon. Wait, was it a reality show?
Yes. They had a reality TV show.
Wow. And
about
Sharon
their family.
Osbourne is his wife?
Mm-hmm. Kelly Osbourne is their daughter.
Wow.
I can't remember the brother's name.
It. Sharon Osbourne.
That's Osmond.
Oh my God, Connor. Not mixing up the Osmonds and the Osbournes. Two very different families.
I think one of them might be offended about that. Probably not the other one. No, that was a crazy, crazy reality show.
Yeah.
That was a crazy reality show. He was the father of reality television. It was pretty wild. I did watch that show when it was on.
Well, speaking of reality TV, I did want to bring this up to you because I'm just interested. There's been an explosion in the Drag Race community, and we've never talked about Drag Race on this podcast, which is like a huge
Despite having Jackie.
Well, no, we talked about it when Jackie was on, but other than when Jackie was
not
here,
like current.
No.
Not. It is one of the regular shows we're watching, but we've never referenced it as one of the regular shows that we are watching.
And I don't know nearly as much about it as y'all do. I have seen, because I'm chronically online, the discourse about who just won All Stars.
Yes.
And I know that what I have surmised is that a lot of people are not happy.
Yeah, furious. So it's basically like the show is, as any competition reality show is, they bring people on, one by one they're eliminated, they crown a winner. This season, they did this like really cool format, actually.
They did the bracket.
Where they did brackets.
That you showed me, yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically like, 9 queens, a 9 or 6? 6 queens each got like 3 episodes. And what I think there's many things to love about this format, in that you're guaranteed 3 episodes for an arc on a show. Yeah. There's so many queens that show up to the show with all of this stuff prepared, and then they never get to show it. Right. It just makes it more of a story.
And I feel like it gives them an opportunity to really showcase themselves in multiple different challenges instead of just the one and you're eliminated.
Yeah. I will say, I felt like it worked so well that then the season ended so abruptly, because then once they were all back, we got 3 episodes. So the finale had 8 people gunning for the crown.
Oh, okay.
Which is just like way too many.
Yeah, it should have been added a few more episodes.
I hate
cut
a final
it down
4.
A more.
I hate a final 4. I hate a final 3. I need this to be American Idol 2005. I need 2
people.
Finalists.
But really quick, pause. How did they used to, they would have 2 finalists for the finale of American Idol, and somehow it was a 2-hour episode.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, I couldn't remember how they used to do that.
2-hour episode, there were 2 2-hour episodes.
That's true.
But the first night
was they each they would each perform 3 times.
That's true.
And then the finale was like the whole big I went to whatever David Archuleta's season was. I saw that finale live. I was in the audience. Yeah.
Of course you did.
It was everything.
Ooh.
Do you want to tell it now?
I'm chiming in because I also have a very fun American Idol story. I went to the finale of Adam Lambert versus Chris Allen and loved Adam Lambert in high school, but I was closeted. So I had very conflicting feelings about loving Adam Lambert. So I would be like, I love you, Adam, but not like that. Like,
Shut up. No, you did not.
No, I really did yell that at him. Anyway,
But not like that is hilarious.
that's my story. But it was like that. Let's be real.
I was just about to say, though, there's nothing more of a conflicting feeling than that finale, because having conflicting feelings about Adam Lambert, but also having very conflicting feelings about Chris Allen, who was hot. Anyway, so they had a final 8. They do like a lip sync thing. So it's just like this huge bracket, lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ginger Minj won. She has been on, what was this, her 5th season of Drag Race.
I think it was 4th.
It's made, you know, they've.
Third time making it to the
Yeah,
Right.
3rd time making it to the end. She's always been a darling of the show. And so she won, and people are like, the show is rigged. Like, they just don't think it was fair.
But,
And
sorry, really quick. The public doesn't vote on Drag Race.
No.
Correct.
So it's always rigged. Like, if you think of, like,
Yes.
like what does rigged mean? Because
well, and that
if the public's not voting, if it's just up to like Rue and production, what does rigged mean?
So this is what I just like, my contribution to the discussion, the discourse online, is that I need everybody to remember that this is a television show.
Yeah.
And I hate when people say that, because it's like, oh, so we're just like not supposed to believe in like the meritocracy of it. And that's not what I'm saying. What I mean in that it's a television show is that like I get frustrated at people because the only way to get people to watch a drag reality television show is to make it a competition.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I hate about America, is that like we can only get people invested in reality and in people if we make it a competition.
If we pit them against each other.
Yeah, so the competition is just the vessel in which we get to experience the art of these queens, because the reality is that 70% of the audience wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
And that's why like other show, like We Are Here on HBO, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I love all of those queens. Well, Bake Off? Great British Bake Off? No, it is. It's an elimination show. You never watch it. You refuse to watch it.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Not him referencing the show. I've been begging for him to watch.
True.
Anyway, so I that's what I mean by that it's a television show, because like to me, what I'm loving about this new era of Drag Race is that they are truly defying the competition format as much as they can by doing these brackets, by doing an all winners season where nobody gets eliminated the whole time. And then to me, the winner is just like, well, we have to do this and we have to give somebody $200,000,
Right.
but like it doesn't mean anything. And I also think that there's something happening with Gen Z, I don't know if Gen Alpha is watching the show, but like, when has the right person ever won? Or how often does that happen? I would say most of the time, the wrong person. Like, hello, Taylor Hicks, Chris Daughtry, Jennifer Hudson, like so many people throughout like reality competition have been completely robbed. But that being said, we have talked a lot about with Drag Race specifically that a lot of these queens do not understand the value of the robbed contestant.
Yeah.
Because you should always be like Ginger Minj should have been riding on the like, how did you not win? How did you not win? Because now she won and everybody like hates her.
Yeah.
Because she won.
Yeah. I think the value of the robbed contestant is important. And I don't want this to be perceived as though I'm saying like you're lucky to have had the opportunity, because I hate that shit. Like when people have said that to me in multiple venues, and I'm just like, no, I earned my place here. Like, I worked hard to get here. All of the queens that are on Drag Race worked really hard to get there, and I'm not saying they should just be grateful to be there. I do wish some of them have had the foresight to take advantage of the opportunity, even if they didn't win. And I think some of them do a really good job of that.
Right.
And some of them get an attitude and get so upset because they didn't win and they felt like they deserved to, that they just like write off the whole Drag Race thing. And it's like, you could, there is a world in which you could align yourself with it, even as someone who was eliminated, and find success that way.
Yeah.
And not only in your own personal career, but eventually be brought back on for another season, be brought on to another reality show like The Traitors. Like,
Right.
like do it. If you do it the right way, people will love a loser. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I just like my other thought, my other thing about it, like that it's just to remind people that it's a television show, is like there are good seasons of television and there are bad seasons of television. And sometimes there are great seasons of television with a bad season 1 finale or whatever. Like it all varies. And so it's like, I'm sorry that you didn't like the season finale of Drag Race, but the whole season was great.
Yeah.
And I like, on the flip side, the producers are constantly trying to cater to the fans of Drag Race, which notoriously has like one of the most hateful group of fans, like toxic, hateful, vile. Yeah, the gays. And so like there was a season of Drag Race of All Stars that one contestant, Trinity, was like clearly the winner, but it would have been like the 5th winner in a row that was white, and the show was getting so criticized. So then they joint crowned her with Megan. I almost said Megan. I was gonna say Megan the Stallion.
Yes.
I just about
Of Drag Race fame.
not Megan the Stallion, Monet Exchange.
Oh, okay.
So like Monet and Trinity are like the joint winners of All Stars because they like wanted to like honor the meritocracy of Trinity, but that like Monet deserved to win for a myriad of other reasons. So then we all ended up with a finale where we were like, that sucks.
But
Because nobody wants a joint tie.
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a tie. And you're like,
What?
what?
They're like editing together.
Yeah, because it's like, this is America. Like, we
Oh,
don't want a
interesting.
tie. Like,
Yeah.
we want a winner.
Want a winner. Yeah.
You know, and I wish that people just like recognize that
Yeah.
more, and it's frustrating. Me, I don't need a competition. My favorite season of Drag Race of all time was the All-Star All Winners.
All winners. Nobody got eliminated that
Nobody got
season?
eliminated. We did have a like a Queen of Queens.
Okay.
And she very clearly won.
Uh-huh.
But like, I loved everybody being on the whole time. All
Yeah.
of the feedback from the judges was like very positive, very much edifying their art. But a lot of fans hated it.
That's so interesting.
They thought they were too nice. Oh my gosh, so many people were like, I like when Drag Race is mean and when it's bitchy. And I'm like,
Do you think that's because people feel like that attitude is inherent to drag?
I think so. And I think that they feel that it's like the watered down, the watering down of like queer
Because
culture,
like part of
drag
like
culture.
drag culture is, you know, reading other queens
It
and like
is,
making
but
the
it's-
jokes and stuff. And so do you think that people feel that absence because to them that's part of the culture?
I absolutely do, but I think that this gets into like a bigger, more delicate conversation that is a means of survival to an oppressed community. So I think it is great
That now has become entertainment.
yeah, that the art form and the culture has risen to a place that culture like sees it and values it. Obviously not in all states and places, but you know what I mean? Like when Ru was doing drag compared to what drag is now, I mean like guys.
Well, and that's another question I was going to ask too, specifically about like people being upset that Ginger won. I know the episode that I watched with you guys was Ginger's first episode of her bracket.
Okay.
And we were talking about the difference between like old drag and new drag and how there is like a very distinct difference in the queens on Drag Race specifically, and how like new age queens do drag versus how like more traditional queens do drag. Do you think people are also potentially upset because they feel like a new queen should have won that represents like the new age of drag?
No, I think that it's truly just like the overexposure of this one person in particular. And it was a series of like challenges that like where they did good, but not like outstanding.
But she got the hero edit and then won the show.
Yeah, but it's also like, she did great on the whole season, but then like, it's like, well, she's really good at Drag Race. And it's like, I don't know. It just, people so desperately want to believe in a meritocracy. They want to believe that everything in life is fair, that everybody has a fair chance at all times. And that's just not
how it works.
Because one thing I always hate about Drag Race is like, I always fought with my friend Daniel in North Carolina because he very much wants to believe in like the meritocracy of Drag Race. Like, no, if you do bad at the challenge, but I'm like, to me, crowning the next drag superstar is not who did the best in the challenges. It's who's the star.
Yeah.
That's like the underlying thing. Like, who would I, and I don't like the winners on Drag Race that I would never go see live.
Yeah.
I want the winner that I'm going to go see live.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's a very good point because it's not necessarily just about one element of drag. It's not just about the makeup. It's not just about the outfits. It's not just about the lip syncing. Like,
right.
I do feel like you have to have an it factor in order to be someone that people want to go see on tour or go see, in WeHo or wherever. Yeah. Like, you have to have that it factor. And sometimes in the name of that it factor, people get a pass of like, well, she wasn't the strongest this week, but she still got something, that intangible something that people who want meritocracy are like, no, like the numbers are the performance is the performance. And it's like, yeah, but even her C+ performance is, somebody else's A+ performance.
Right.
Like she, I always find that so interesting because like when I was doing pageants, it was very similar. Like up until a certain point, like we were all in a point system, but judging is still so subjective. There's no way to judge someone in that type of venue objectively, right? And up until a certain point, the numbers are the numbers. But then there comes a ranking system. Right. And depending on where you fall between 5 different people in that ranking system can determine if you win or lose. And so, I'm not like a math person necessarily, but I was always so curious, like, what scores would you have to get in the top 5 to win? Like, what would the configuration need to be? And because of the way those numbers were, you could literally be 5 judges pick out of 5 out of 5 could pick you for 3rd place and you could win. Because if everybody else was in disagreement about who should be 1st and 2nd, and you had the most consistent points across the board, you could win. Right. And I've watched it happen. I have watched, no disrespect in any way, shape, or form, I have watched the most mediocre girl in the top 5 win. Yeah. Because nobody else could decide. Everybody else had a different winner, but they all gave her 3rd. And then she ended up winning. Yeah. And so I kind of feel like that's maybe what you were saying with Ginger. It's just 100%. Like, she's good at all of the challenges. She's good at Drag Race. There might have been people who were better at some things than her and worse at some things than her, but she was good across the board and then wins.
Yeah, she's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Which is not, but like the Drag Race lore even goes, I'm thinking of Bianca Del Rio, how people like thought it was rigged that she would win because she was never in the bottom and therefore never had to lip sync, which isn't her strong suit. And I'm like, Bianca Del Rio is like objectively a star. Yeah. So to like act as if like, oh, well, if she had to lip sync, she might have been eliminated. I'm like, the bitch is like one of the greatest Drag Race winners of all time, but undeniably.
But also, like, can we just flip that for a second? And again, I'm saying this as someone who hasn't watched. I'm just going off of what you're saying. Yeah. Can we flip that for a second and say that bitch worked hard so she didn't have to lip sync?
Exactly.
Like, can we not take that perspective of Bianca knows that lip syncing is not her strong suit, so she works 10 times as hard on every challenge so that she never has to be in that position. Can we not look at it that way? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, it's all interesting. But
just me.
Well, it kind of ties into this. Okay. About like the meritocracy of things. Okay. This is the beginning of a new one-time segment called Triggered.
The spike
Triggered
in the audio. The spike is
still there.
That's better.
So
that's hilarious.
I'm scrolling Instagram and I see a clip of Cameron Dallas in Mean Girls, the musical on Broadway.
Okay.
Have you seen this clip?
No.
Please hold.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we got an iPad.
Dragging the girls.
I would prefer the girl you were. You're trying to help me. You think this works with me? Well, you thought wrong. Looking at this place, I see you trying to erase what is best about yourself just to belong. You say more is always better, but there is less of you than there was before. So if more is always better, then you should have thought it through.
That's all you need to say.
He's gonna be lip sync.
Okay, so that your face. So the reason that I was triggered, I'm not joking you, this was the moment I heard this in my dressing room, 3 theaters down, and I said, I need a new career. And I'm not joking. Now, I want to start this by saying I don't think anybody made the wrong decision here. I don't think this is a bad or good, like I said, I'm trying to be very neutral about this.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like, so that was Cameron Dallas,
Mhm.
he was a Vine star.
Okay.
So I think he has 10 million followers on Instagram.
Whoa.
And so I respect the stunt cast to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the show was like on its way down.
Yeah.
But like, again, about Ginger Minch, it's like the meritocracy of it
Mm-hmm.
is like, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is so frustrating to spend your life like studying something, loving something, training for something, receiving so much feedback, some of it unwarranted, most of it inappropriate, most of it really personal,
Mm-hmm.
to then have another person
Mm-hmm.
never do it in their life,
Mm-hmm.
clearly has not sung,
Yes.
waltz onto the Broadway stage and be a lead. Because so here's the story, right? I was doing Book of Mormon. They were looking for a cover for Aaron.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I could cover the role. I'm probably not right to play it full time, but I could definitely cover it. I look like Kyle
Absolutely.
Seelig. Yeah. My agent couldn't get me an appointment. It's the
Okay.
same creative team as Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
So I write the creative team of Book of Mormon. And I said, hey, I really want to go in for this.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, come in. I go in. I get a call back.
Mhm.
You know, do the thing. But it's like, this is what I struggle with of like the follower count versus
Mhm.
like the working class, right? Is like,
right.
I receive the feedback of like, oh, he's not this, he's not this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, if he was just like a little more like, you know, gym going, if he
Mhm.
was, if he was a little more straight, oh, like his voice this. But then it's like, that is totally fine
Yeah.
because they have a following. And it's like, I felt the same way watching JoJo Siwa's Rapunzel audition tape, because I was
Mhm.
like, the way that actors, working class actors, are out here buying nice cameras, buying blue screens,
Mhm.
hiring a friend to be their reader, you know what I mean? Like going to every single thing that the masterclass that they paid them told them to do so that they can have the most professional looking audition tape. And then Miss Mamas is out here like in front of a random wall in a costume,
Mm-hmm.
like doing that. It's like, my conclusion for all of this is I want everybody to have a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't, and that's why I say I don't think that this casting was wrong. I think there's plenty of people. We saw Cara Delevingne as Sally Bowles in Cabaret, and she was brilliant. A supermodel. She was brilliant. She's not a musical theater girl. Brilliant. So I'm not saying that like, maybe he would have been amazing, but like, I really struggle in the creative spaces why some people get a chance and some people don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people who get a chance are the people that, what did they do to deserve a chance?
Yeah.
Like, I worked for this my whole life.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like the playing field is equal.
Yeah. And it's
like
funny.
certain factors are weighed more heavily than others.
Yeah. And the original clip that I heard, because like, nothing spreads faster than a voice memo in the Broadway community, mama, let me tell you. And and the clip that I heard, the audience was like laughing, like snickering. And it's really sad. And then I feel bad for him because like, that's not bad. That's sad. There's a lot of people that like set that person up for failure, that signed off on that and went, this is okay.
Yeah. And I think like we have to wrap up, but this is like also a much larger conversation of just like how the need for money and need for profit is detrimental to the arts, and but like one still can't exist without the other, like
Right.
because of the way it's built and because of capitalism and because of just like how society works. You can't have a show without money. And if the people are looking at it from the creative team, from the production team, from the finance team and going, he's going to bring in the money, then that keeps everybody else in that show working. So it's really tough because it's like you said, like stunt casting can be great. And I totally get it. And I get why they do stunt casting to keep the lights on, like you said. And it's like, it just sucks because he specifically, I feel like, was not set up for success, you know, in any way, shape, or form. But they are using the money that someone like him would bring in to keep 150 other people in the building employed.
And I understand it for shows like Chicago that like the business structure of Chicago on Broadway is SNL, right? You have your cast of professionals and then you bring in a celebrity to basically host for 2 weeks, you know, play Roxy or Velma or whatever. And it keeps the lights on in the building. But like in this case, it does frustrate me because I'm like, who came to this show to see him? Like, I genuinely want to know how this translates because I'm so frustrated with the executive. Yeah. Like, when executives fail, and I don't know whose decision this was, and I don't fault anybody for making this decision, but it's like part of what I was thinking about this was like the whole Stephen Colbert thing, because the network came back and said, well, this show's losing $40 million a year. They're about to make an $8 billion sale. $40 million is 0.5% of $8 billion. So what?
So who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
And this is contributing to the brand that made you guys in the first place. So it's like, you cannot, like, please show me the data that this was a decision that benefited everybody. Yeah. Because I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was very triggered.
Triggered.
I was very triggered.
The spike is killing me.
And then just really quick, we have our and it was that we sometimes do celebratory dances in our apartment, and when good thing. No, because I'm about to talk about your celebratory dance.
I was gonna say we do.
In which Connor flossed, which is violently millennial, but the really like violently millennial part of the flossing was that as he did it, his hips popped.
Connor is looking like he doesn't remember flossing.
I don't either, but I have a note in my phone that says violently millennial, Connor flossing and his hips popping.
Correct. Yes.
And then I went, flossing, what was he? And then I remembered that it was flossing.
Yeah. You thought he was flossing his teeth. Yes. That is violently millennial.
Yes.
Seeing the word flossing and thinking of teeth and not the dance.
Yep.
That's violently millennial.
Anyway. All right. We are off to the Descendants Zombie
Sorry
Tour.
the end of this feels so rushed, but we do have to go sit in traffic for 45 minutes to go see Descendants and Zombies. Milo will not be there, which I am sad about.
That is a bummer. He's still drinking around the world.
And I will be meeting him there.
Yeah. But DCOM Live, August 2nd. We
DCOM
1 week
Live,
away.
August
Make
2nd.
sure you're
And
there.
Not right now, but we might have another show to announce soon.
That's right. Maybe.
That is a little more local than San Diego.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dun,
Connor's
dun.
got to give us the thumbs up for when we can announce that. But stay tuned.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. The Childless Millennials is a podcast hosted by Jacob Heron and Kalen Kelly. The show was produced by Connor Warren Smith with music by Connor Warren Smith.